I have done pretty much nothing between the two episodes other than checking on the monopool, making myself some delicious spring salads. Um, delicious. Why not? I realized, hey, I could use cucumbers in this and get cucumber salad. But then I realized that I had used up all my cucumbers in making the spring salad in the first place. And now we have no cucumbers. I figured I had replanted them and I was wrong. But getting back to the saga that is Tinker's construct infrastructure, we can see that up next we need to have something called patterns, which is right here. And I should probably go get the Tinker's construct book so that we can see that the book actually evolves as our knowledge does. I'm also going to drop these guys off. Materials and you. Well, I am not seeing it. Odd. Oh well. We don't really need it. I have most of Tinker's constructs pretty much memorized, so we are all good on that front. So, one thing that we need is something called the part builder. Shocker. It builds the parts, but I will get to how later. We need the stencil table, which allows us to make the parts that lets us make the parts. We need the tool station, which allows us to craft all the parts together. And then I like to have a pattern chest. It seems that the texture is broken on the pattern chest. Yeah, see, usually it just sits right about that height right there, and it's just one big solid block instead of this table-looking structure. So we're going to put our stencil table right next to it, our part builder there, and our tool station there. That is nice. So, if we throw stencils in here, this is where we go to make the bare bones of our tools. If we throw it in there, we can see that we can make a tool rod pattern, a pickaxe head pattern. Yeah, I'll take one of those. Axe head, sword blade. I'm not going to do wide guard. I'm going to do hand guard, and you will see why. Crossbar, tool binding. No, no, no. Sure. Yes. Now, these ones that you see here, broad axe and stuff, you can see how much material is required by material cost. So if we were making something out of iron, the pickaxe head would cost 1 iron ingot, while the tool rod pattern would require half an ingot. Now, the way that we get half ingots rather than full ingots is by melting them down in the smeltery, and I think we're good here. Yep, that's all we want. By melting them down in the smeltery into liquid metals, which can be separated indefinitely small. Now the question is, how do we get the metals in if you can't pour it on wood? It'll just light the wood on fire. Well, that's where the gold comes in. Like I showed you last episode, you can make a blank cast. So let's start with getting ourselves a... Oh, right. Why is it not Oh. Okay. My bad. The part builder needs to be next to the stencil table because the stencil table provides the stencils to build with. If you throw these guys in here, we can get one of these, and you can see that we have half a stone. That's what this shard is equivalent to, and since this only requires 0.5, and this is equivalent to 0.5, you can get it out of it. Now with each material, there is a modifier. both a numeric durability modifier and, not with every material, but with most, a trait modifier. So we can see that on the stone binding, it does not, the bindings in minor tools do not affect the durability, but instead they are the chance to put on another trait. So we can see here that stone bound is on the stone binding. Now what stone bound does is, as the durability gets lower, the item will mine faster. We can see here that we've got the stone pickaxe head. It's got a durability of 131, mining level iron. So it's basically like a stone pickaxe. And stone tool rods have a handle modifier, which you multiply the handle modifier by the durability of the pickaxe head to get the tool's durability. So it's got half, so it's 131 times half, so about 65. Right. Bow durability, don't know what that's about. Oh, you also use tool rods to make the bows, but I won't be bothering with that right now. So, how do we make casts? Well, you pour molten gold over them. Just like so. Now that we have some gold in there, you simply tap, tap, tappy. Right there, and we've got ourselves casts. Now, as far as actual functionality goes, these guys don't do much for us. We can't start swinging these guys at rocks, so we need to pour the metal down into them. However, since the casts are made of gold, we cannot make gold Tinker's Construct tools. So, now we don't need this anymore. These stone parts, I figure now is a good time to show you the crafting system. This is how you make the tool. You throw all the tool parts into their corresponding location, and it spits it out for you. And you can even get a free name going. So we'll call this the first of many. And we can see that by shift clicking or shift holding, we see it's what it can be repaired with. So we don't have to make completely new pickaxes. Its durability, its modifiers, so we have stone bound right there. Its mining speed, and its mining level. So this guy's pretty garbage, truthfully. So if we get a chest, we can actually store these guys right next to the smeltery, and everything looks good, as well as old or obsolete tools. So how about I go and I craft casts for each of the things that I want to get started on, and I will be right back. Alright, so obviously we have our basic tools casts right here. We got the pickaxe, the tool rod, the shovel, the axe, the sword, which we're going to be making a special kind, and the chisel, which allows us to decorate a bit better. But we can see that we have some extra gold. I decided not to make these guys yet because I wanted a little extra gold. So how do we get that extra gold out? Well, we can also make an ingot cast, which we can slap down any ingot of any kind and pour gold around it. And what we're left with is an ingot cast, which we can turn around and pour the gold into. Now, many of you might say, well, why don't you just pour gold into the normal casts? Can't it work like that? And my answer to you is, I guess not. So yeah, this is how one would go about using this as an ore doubling. You would first pull them out of there and uncraft the blocks, and then any remnants that doesn't fill up a block, you can pour in here. It's just that simple. Granted, it's a little tedious, but it's well worth it. Am I out? I thought I had 8. My bad. Alright. So, we can plunk these guys back in here. And let's go ahead and get ourselves some iron. Now we can get ourselves some better tools by throwing those guys in there. We can see that we have 18 slots, so we're just too short. I'll just put these away, we don't need them. Get ourselves some better mining tools in specific. We can put this guy away. We can pull out the tool rod, bang bang, and we can see how tool forging is done. I'll be right back once these are done melting down. Alright, here they are. Alright, you can see that it doubled our 18 and gave us 36. So we can take it and we can just pour straight in, and we've got ourselves the pouring seems to lag me out for whatever reason. Hasn't in the past. We don't need these guys anymore. We can get something like this going. Now tool rods are required for each thing, so we're going to be making a lot of them. One more. Okay. Do we want anything else? Do we want... Yes. I would like you and you. We can get another one of you. Alright, there we go. Now we can just... I don't really need these guys anymore. I guess I need the sapphire hoe, but they can still sit in there. We can take this guy, throw him right there. We can call this pick of the Courier. We can call this guy also pick, no. Shovel of the Shovesman. And we also need the axe. We can call this guy the axe. I know that one was creative. Now this one that I'm about to make is a interesting one. This is not your conventional sword, as you can see. It's called the axe now. We're going to call it Death by Giraffe Hoof. And it is a long sword, which allows us to do something very special. And that is, if we hold right click, that creeper head freaks me out every time, it will allow us to launch ourselves forward. So if I go out like this, and I get going, and I jump and bam, it allows us to jump great distances by jumping and then letting go. I don't see it being too useful, but it's always my favorite because I don't think blocking is that effective anymore, especially with how fast skeletons shoot nowadays. That also sort of annoys me, how fast skeletons shoot nowadays. So how about I go do some mining, or actually, let me show you guys the trait system. You might want to see that. So you can put modifiers on tools themselves to where you don't need to imbue it with the materials themselves. So what I mean by this, that's my cuckoo clock, is if we put lapis on, we can see that without the lapis, it's a regular old pick of the Courier. But with lapis, we can see that in blue it says luck, and farther down it says lapis 9 out of 450. So obviously it wants a lot of lapis, but I still get the luck trait from putting only a little on. And what luck is it's the equivalent in Tinker's Construct of fortune. The more lapis you have on, the higher your fortune enchant. What block of redstone does, or just redstone, period, is it will make it faster. So we can see that over here we have the mining speed of 6, and over here we have the mining speed of 6.72, significantly faster. Now as you can see, this one can only hold up to 50 redstone. Now why is that? Because one trait at a time. So 50 redstone is the cap to one trait. So we can see that we have modifiers remaining. When we started we had 3, but we spent 1 on making fortune and 1 on getting haste. So yes, you can only go up to 50. Now if you still have a modifier remaining and you want to go past the 50, you can go back up to 100, but you use up that last modifier, which could be used for something else. However, all 3 levels of enchant are contained in 1 level of luck. So that's good. And there we go. See, now if I was to throw it back in, we get the 51 out of 100, but no modifiers remaining. So I won't do that. I will save that. Put you back in here. One last thing to show you, and that is the repair mechanic. So say I'm down there mining away, mining my heart out, and bing, bang, boom, my pick gets broken. We can come up here. Well, not up here. I can carry some iron on me, which I will be doing. I can take it over here, and it can repair a whole lot more, but I'm just showing you for the sake of demonstration. We can throw iron with it because that's what the head was made out of, and it will repair us quite well. And bing, bang, boom, we have a fresh new pickaxe. So I'm going to go do some mining with this sweet new guy. And I will be back once we have an abundance of resources. Alright, I died a couple times. So, or actually I died once. I lost some oreberry bushes that I had, as well as my shiny new tools, and my not so shiny armor. But I made out pretty well. And I can see that I've got some experience here. So, the question is, what do we want to do with all this shiny new stuff? Well, in order to do anything, we need to have a place to implement what we're going to do with it. So I think that we need to actually, above all else, get started on a factory floor. And also, I learned what I was doing wrong here. Wayla always says immature, but if you just punch them when they're bright red, they drop and they regrow. See what I mean? There we go. So first I'm going to make myself some meals, and then I'm going to scout out a good area for a factory, or a tier 1 workshop, if you will. So I'm going to go do that now that we have the stuff, and then when we come back we can start looking at the mechanisms of automation and whatnot, and I think we'll be in a much better spot than we are right now, now that the Tinker's Contract's infrastructure has sort of been defeated. I'll be right back. Alright, guys. So, I have constructed ourselves a small workshop. Um, this can be something that we can, place our rudimentary machines. Nothing. This won't be like the guts when we get to it, but this will be uh, our manual operations center. So this will be square one for us. I don't have a roof yet, but oh well. It always seems like the most tedious task to me. So we will have things like the cuckoo clock is very rude. We will have things like our pulverizers and stuff in there, so that it looks all good and whatnot. We can drop off. What did I want? Here we are. So if we go take a look, let's go test out and see if our mana pool is ready. I'm starting to accrue buildings. I do not know if that is enough for a mana diamond, but let's go try and find out. Here we are. I had a couple ender pearls from when I was mining, but that was before I died. So, wrong room again. But that's how that worked. Here we go. Yeah! How much did that take? Oh, that's not bad. Okay. I like that. So, I think that we are ready for the next step of Botania. And next episode, what we'll be doing is we will start taking care of industry so that we can start more effectively doing stuff like Botania and other mods by doubling ores and getting more resources. Let's see. Nope. Here it is. So what we need now is we need the runic altar. And that would be back... it's not... Maybe if I go for... Let's just go through the sash of... Or, yeah. Yeah. We'll just find our way to it through here. Shift click, and we need to look at this. So if we just take some living rock, which we've got right here, we can get ourselves a runic altar. Big step, ladies and gentlemen. Slap him down right there. And boom, we got a runic altar. Before we go and mess with this, let's grab ourselves the iron, a block of coal, and a mushroom. Okay, so trace of you, and a block of smooth stone. What else was it? A mushroom, and then we need that 3 iron, which we can get by pouring some out of there. Yep. Let's get, yeah, 3 is fine. Well, no. We're going to need more in a couple of the other steps. So let's just grab, say, 6, and we'll make 6 mana steel while we're at it. There we go. It is nighttime. Here we are. Now, I also realized how inefficient this setup is. So I will just be doing this and hopefully these guys should still be draining. And that they are. Which means we also don't need this guy here. Which means we can do this and this. Oh, look at that. There we go. Okay. So if we take our iron, we've got ourselves some mana steel. That's cool. One of the fours. That took a fair hit out of us, but oh well. Now, for the ring of short that sounds weird. We got the leather, that's all good. We got the mana steel. Rune of Earth, right, forgot the mushroom, which is over in my food room. Food room. That's what everybody calls the kitchen, right? We'll just take you. Yep. Craft this guy while we're right here. And we can start making a progress table, which is something I like to do when I'm working on long-term projects. That leather. Long-term crafting projects, anyways. Put them right there. There we go. Now we're just missing the 2 runes, which... oh. Well, that's a bit funky. Alright, let's move these guys around. That should be better. I didn't realize the textures reached out that far. Yep, that looks fine. Okay, so if we grab 3 mana steel, a block of coal, let's try doing it like this. Smooth stone, block of coal. I don't think it matters, but a mushroom. How do I want to forest it? Yes, I do. How long is that going to take? It's feeding the runic altar, that's for sure. This guy's draining quite... oh. Yes? No? Maybe. A piece of living rock. Okay. Yeah, okay. I should probably read directions before getting frustrated. Yeah, we'll just take the rest of these. Oh, I had one. I'll just take the rest of them with me. We can get ourselves... oh! The Rune of Earth. Hey, look at that. I'll drop those guys right there. And this guy goes in the top left. Baubles. Yep. Now we need to worry about the Rune of Air, which requires 3 more mana steel. Carpet. Joy. and a feather. Alright, that's not too bad. Does this create a distortion? No, it's a layover, it seems. It's just when you walk around it looks like a distortion. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and do something like this as well. One, two, three. Alright. Yeah, that should help rebolster it while we're getting the stuff. I'm going to go look for a feather and some wool, and I will be right back. Okay, so we got a feather. Went out, killed the chicken, only one I could find. Oh well. But I already had the string in one of my chests, so I got some wool and stuff. We need another iron ingot, and that is quite alright. There we go. Which we can turn into mana steel. Like so. Let's check if this helped. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So if we look in here, we can see light gray carpet. That's right. It wasn't wool, it was carpet. Alright, let's head back in and see what we can do about this guy. So I'll drop off the carpet in case I need air runes later. 3 mana steel. Is it still burning? No. Bang. Bang. Boom. Boom again. Alright, here we go. Let's hope that was enough. Yeah, let's hope that was enough. Come on, work. Work. Let's see, I need a living rock. Once it starts shooting, there we go. Hey! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The moment. I decided I wanted since episode 2. Look at this. This is a glorious day. The Sojourner's sash. That's it. Let's play is over. Oh, you hear that? Oh, look at this mobility, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, double block jump. This is the definition of power. Alright, this has been Season 1 with Courier's Let's Play. Thank you for watching. Next season, we do the same thing. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Bye. No, okay. So now that we've got something as powerful as this in our utility under our power, I feel like we can really start making some moves forward in this world, both literally and figuratively. I don't think it takes damage, and I don't know if it's enchantable. So, I doubt it's enchantable, actually. I wonder if... Do we want to start focusing on rings and whatnot, or would we rather start going for industry? Next time in Courier's Season 1 Let's Play. Ladies and gentlemen, come back next time to see the epic conclusion to Botania Rising.